And now the part of the day that every car owner loves. Car parts. Wait, where did she come out of? The front door? She shut the door. Yeah, she did. Ooh. $45, $40, $18 XL. Yeah, that's them. Thank you.
I'm excited.
Have a good one.
You too, thank you. Alright, so, new tires for the Evo.
It says it on the side here.
These are Firestone Firehawk Indy 500s. We ordered them yesterday at like 3 in the afternoon, and here it is like 1 o'clock and they're here already. So, gotta put these on the Evo because the Evo tires, as you can see, maybe you can't, are definitely bald and wearing horribly unevenly. So, we lower the car, we have to put new tires on it and then get an alignment done, and we're gonna go head over to the tire shop and get that done now. Alright, as I said, we had to get new tires on the Evo because last fall when we took the stock wheels and tires off to put the snow wheels and tires on, I had noticed that the original tires that were on this car, which probably had about 23,000 miles on them, but we bought the car used with like 15,000 on it to begin with, and I'm pretty sure that this car was driven hard because it wasn't owned by anybody. According to the dealer we bought it from, it was never titled, so I think it was like a, I wouldn't say like a media car or press car, but it was something that people were driving around hard, I'm sure. So basically we took the stock Yokohama Advan, I think is what comes on these, took all that off, and they were like bald in weird areas and wearing horribly unevenly. And on top of that, her car always kind of like pulled to one side and like really tracked on the road a lot when you hit like the, you know, the little rubber, I don't know what they are, little black lines in the road that they use to seal the tar, seal the cracks. So I knew her tires were bad for a while, but we were managing to get by with them. But figured at the beginning of this year I'm going to have to get her new tires. So we did. And we went with the Firestone Firehawk Indy 500 tires. They are the same size as what was on this car stock. They are 245 40 18s. And the reason why we went with those tires is because, honestly, price and a lot of positive reviews on Tire Rack, it basically boiled down to any other ultra high performance summer tire that was even like remotely close as far as you know, people's reviews on them, which I know a lot of people have different opinions for the cars that they use the tires on. But as far as just a general rule of like who's liking what tires, these tires were a minimum of $55 to $60 a tire cheaper than the next best thing I could find. And by next best thing, I'm talking like, you know, Pilot PS4s or you know, some of the better you know, tires that would work well in a car like this. So I bought these ones, and first I'll tell you, I went to Discount Tire and they don't have a deal with Firestone where they can buy these, so I wasn't allowed to buy them from them. So then I went down the street to my local CarX, who does all sorts of stuff, and they could get them, but I could still get them online cheaper. So bought them from Tire Rack online, and they were about $146 a piece plus shipping. But it also had a free 2-year tire warranty thing that came with them, which that's always a plus because I hate paying extra for warranties. So if it's free, it's free. I'll take it. But the whole deal, I ordered them and I got them less than 24 hours later, shipped to the house, as you saw. So we took them over to the CarX and then thrown on the car, and then they did an alignment because her car also, when driving in a straight line, the steering wheel was like, I can't remember if it was left or right, but it was like pretty hard turned one way or the other. And if you want to be going straight and let go of the wheel, that wasn't happening. The car would just go left. But now I have no hands on the wheel and the car is driving perfectly straight. So I'm really happy with that. I'm happy that the car got an alignment. It's much better. But right now I'm heading to go get some gas because, quite frankly, she's on E, because we took this thing on a little family road trip last week and never really really filled it up when we got home. So I'm going to get some gas, and then we're going to rip around, and I'm going to let you know how I feel about these tires. All right, we got our gas, so I figured I might as well start on the outside here. So first off, in case you don't know what this car is, it's a 2015 Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution MR. Now what that means is it's just the 6-speed dual clutch automatic. It's about a 290, I'd say we have an intake and an exhaust on here. I'll just call it 300 even horsepower. All-wheel drive, full-time all-wheel drive. About a 3,600 pound car. So it's not like it's super heavy, but it's also not a super lightweight like a Miata or something like that. So as you can see here, now you can see the tread pattern on this tire is it's pretty aggressive. It's a nice looking solid areas there. So it's not like it's going to be lacking for traction, I don't think. But again, it's an all-wheel drive car. Never really has like a traction issue, I would say, just because of the fact that it is very well balanced and grips pretty well. So I think we're going to first hop in the car and take it for a spin, and I'll let you know my thoughts on these tires. All right, so let's try to pull out of this gravel parking lot without getting stuck in a pothole. Another thing I think is possibly worth mentioning is that this car is lowered on Swift Sport R or Spec R, I can't remember, but Swift brand lowering springs. So the ride harshness in this car is it was never really like a comfortable, floaty, luxury sedan, but it was always a little stiff, and I think these springs are actually pretty nice. They actually lower the car. It looks I think the way it should. It was really tall to begin with, but this review isn't for the springs, but I just want to let you know that regarding the ride feel of these tires, they actually feel, you can hear probably the bangs over the cracks in the road and the bridge back there, but basically the ride is actually pretty darn smooth, which I think the stock factory tires that came on this thing felt a lot harder when you hit you hit harder things in the ground, like it was kind of soft there. You probably didn't hear it, but I think these tires are definitely a lot softer than the stock Advans were, which again, those were like 2-year-old, 2.5-year-old, 3-year-old, whatever, and definitely down there on tread. So I just know that every spring when we take the every spring, it's been 2 years since we've bought this car, but in the spring when we take the snow tires off and put the summer tires back on, first gen SRT8 Jeep, when we put the winter tires, we're taking winter tires off, put the spring, summer, red up, whatever, summer tires back on, it's always felt a heck of a lot harder. The winter tires are definitely a lot softer rubber because they just are for the winter use, but they just the car was extraordinarily harsh when you put the summer tires back on it. These aren't so bad. The other thing is the road noise. Obviously you can hear this car's exhaust. It is a not a quiet car because we have a straight exhaust after the cat on this, but these tires are surprisingly quiet. I'm actually shocked about that because some of the reviews, I think it was actually Tire Rack's own video where they compared this to a couple of other tires. I think they said that these were a little bit louder than the rest of the options for its class, but they're actually fairly quiet. They're not intrusive at all. I was kind of expecting that with them being, the big rubber blocky, blocks of rubber on the tread pattern. I just assumed that these would be a much louder tire, but they're not. These are actually very quiet, and I enjoy the ride. The ride quality is great, but we need to see how they handle. So I think let me get down the road here to some areas where it kind of twists and turns a bit more. I was hoping to take this left-hand sweeper here a little fast, but I got a red light instead. Anyway, while we're waiting to red light, I've never taken this car otherwise to the drag strip, but we haven't taken this car to autocross events or anything like that, which I think this car would be awesome to do that type of stuff with. So I think now that we've got these much better tires, I think we are going to try that. I love this car. Yeah, it grips pretty good there. I think the tires she had before, that same turn, I've taken it before at speed like that, where it's kind of floored around the turn, and maybe it is spinning, but it doesn't feel like the tires were spinning. It just, the car kind of like, I don't know, like drifted over a little bit. Like it just kind of didn't stay in the line I wanted it to go on. So maybe it was spinning. Maybe that is what was going on before. But now that definitely, that hugged that turn. This like ate that up. All right, well, this road I want to take the hard turn on, I now have a Buick Enclave in front of me. So I'm going to go a little slower so that I can let him get a ways ahead of me before I hit these tighter turns. But and then I think after that, I'll put the camera outside the car so you guys can, you know, kind of see the tires from the outside. I think I'm gonna try and do launch control. I got to find a place, a good spot to do that here. But this car does have launch control. It's basically put it in the Super Sport mode for the transmission. Well, I call it Super Sport. It's S Sport. S Sport mode for the transmission. Hold down the traction control button until everything's off. And then hold the brake down as hard as you can, mash the gas, it goes up to 5,000 RPM, and let off the brake and take off. But, alright, we're coming up to these tight left and a tight right, so let's see how this feels. I've taken this turn pretty fast before in my car, but haven't tried it in her car yet. Of course, there's a monster Jeep coming the other way. Inside the inside my lane pretty well. That's never happened before. My SS, I would never try it at that speed just because my SS would kick out and I'd spin the car around. But this thing with the old tires definitely couldn't stick through that turn in my lane as well as it did just now. So let me throw the camera on the outside of the car so you guys can see what it looks like from out there. That's what it is, what it looks like from the outside, as well as the launch control, which we learned about like a month and a half ago and only ever used once. So now that we've used it, or I've used it twice, I like it. Alright, so the only thing left to do is to see how these tires work in the rain, which I actually do think we're supposed to get some rain in the next couple of days. But besides that, the reviews I've read about these tires from Tire Rack and other places all say that they perform great in wet weather as well. So I have no reason to believe that they're wrong about that, since I'm extremely happy with how these perform now. And I think that for about 150 bucks a tire for the size that this is, again 245 40 18, 150 bucks a tire, you can't beat that, because even, like I said, even the next best tires from Michelin or Pirelli or somebody else, they're $200 plus per tire. So I don't think you're really losing much. I mean, unless it comes down to longevity, which these tires actually have a pretty decent tread wear rating, and I think it's comparable to the rest. So we'll see how that turns out in the long run with these. But as for now, I am really happy with these. I would highly recommend these. Again, they're the Firestone Firehawk Indy 500s. I believe it's a newer tire that Firestone came out with in the last like year or so, or maybe a year or more. But I love them. I absolutely love them on this my wife's Lancer Evolution. Highly recommend them if you are looking for new tires and these are something that's available to you. They definitely aren't going to break your budget, I don't think, and can't really complain about them. Really have nothing bad to say. RS7? Yeah, it's a nice Audi RS7. I don't know if you can see that. Leaving my neighborhood. Anyway, so again, love these tires, highly recommend them, and now the weather's getting nice, hopefully gonna start doing some more car videos, because this winter sucked. It was like never ending, because it's not like it snowed a lot and it was super cold, but it was just not nice enough out to do anything. So nicer weather's coming. car season's coming, and I hope to do some more videos and get some more content out to you guys. I appreciate everything. I love all the support I get from everybody, and the views, the subscribers I've added in the last 6 months, even though I haven't really done too much since like before Thanksgiving. And we got Easter coming up here in a couple days. So thank you everybody that's followed me and you know, been with me since the beginning, and all the new subscribers as well. And please give this video a thumbs up, and if you're not a subscriber already, please become one. I'd appreciate it. And have yourself a great day.